Hey, welcome to Dad Space. This is Dave. It's a little different music this time around. Yeah, a little different. What are we doing? Well, this is National Podcast Post Month. What does that mean to you? It means to you that you're going to get 30 episodes in 30 days. 30, I know, right? And the idea is that as podcasters, we're going to create episodes in support of National Podcast Post Month. They call it hashtag #NaPodPomo for those at home that are keeping score. But the idea is that we just create content for you daily in the month of November. So we are focusing on some great people that have been past guests on the show and friends of the show, answering questions about dads and giving you some feedback. And then also adding in some of the books that I found and resources I found as a fellow dad that could help you possibly on your journey as a dad. So that's kind of what we're focusing on this month, and I'm excited to share this with you. It's going to be a great month, and today's episode is part of that. I'm excited to share with you a new resource, possibly new to you, and tell you my thoughts about it here on Dad Space. Glad to be with you. The other big part of November, which I'm excited to also bring forward for those that are unaware, is we call it also Movember. What is Movember? It's when the mustache is calling. It is our time as men to unite, to take on mental health, suicide, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and all of that is to shine a light on men's mental health and men's physical health. And we're celebrating Movember as well. Link in the show notes for you to see how you can support is to raise money and awareness for men. So on top of doing National Podcast Post Month, this month is always focused on you as well as men. We're here to support you and to let you know that there's a community around you that's wishing and searching for the best for you as men. So happy Movember, everyone, as well. Let's get into the podcast. So we're back to some more books for dads. Today, if you're a girl dad, like I am, I have a boy, girl, boy. That's my breakup of kids in my family, which are not really kids, they're adults now. So I'm an empty nester and I'm missing them, but hey, I'm thinking of them today. The idea of being a girl dad, I think, is something that's very special, very unique, and there's a good book about that. It is called Girl Dad, Navigating Fatherhood with Daughters. Came out in August 19th, 2023 by David Hall. And I wanted to share a few thoughts about the book for you. It's a book I've recommended to other people in the past who find out they're going to have a daughter or they already know they have a daughter. But it's a book that I thought maybe I could share some thoughts with you about. And this is another great resource for dads, which I like sharing. I love sharing things that can help you as a dad. So this is a comprehensive guide for fathers raising daughters. The book serves as an essential resource for fathers looking to build strong, meaningful relationships with their daughters. It goes beyond typical parenting advice, which I really like. It offers insights into more unique dynamics of the father-daughter bond. I know growing up with my kids as a dad, and the moment we found out we're having a daughter, so like a little switch went off for me that things are going to be different. I had my son first, and then my daughter second, and then another son after that. But having that in-between daughter, that in-between child, right, is always a little bit trying to find their place. But knowing that she was unique and different than the other two helped her, I think, to find some identity in being the middle kid. And we had a really strong bond growing up, the two of us. Pretty inseparable, father and daughter. So there's a really unique dynamic, I think, in that father-daughter relationship. And this book helps to provide some practical strategies for navigating the various stages of a daughter's life. So some of the key strengths about this book. It has some great coverage, very comprehensive. The book addresses a wide range of topics from early childhood to adolescence and beyond, giving fathers a real holistic view of their of the whole role that you have throughout the life of your daughter and their development, as well as some practical advice. The author offers some real actionable tips and some strategies for everyday situations, making the book really applicable to any real life parenting challenges that you're going to face as a dad. And trust me, there'll be a few. You're going to have to learn a lot. There's a really nice focus on emotional intelligence. This is a guide in the book that emphasizes understanding and navigating the emotional landscape of daughters. They're a lot different than you are, just so you know. This will help you as a dad to foster some emotional intelligence and help you in your communication to strengthen it, and for the two of you to be able to communicate better emotionally and through your words. Another strength for this book, it's really easy to adapt to your situation. It provides insights on how the father-daughter relationship evolves over time, preparing dads like you and I for the changing dynamics as their daughters grow. Example, for my perspective as a dad, when my daughter was very small, she had long hair. And my wife was so excited because she had a girl and she could do her hair and do all those girl things that she was so excited about. But my daughter chose me to be her official hairstylist. I was the only one allowed to do her ponytails, to my wife's chagrin. She would always give me that dirty look like, how dare you? Yes, but anyway, so my daughter chose me as her hairstylist, which I have zero skills, by the way, in any of that. But that bond that we had when she was little, sitting in your chair at night before bedtime, and she would climb up on your lap and snuggle in and kind of de-stress with Dad before going to bed at night. I can remember all the way up to like high school, where she's like, okay, this isn't cool anymore. And that bond was starting to separate, right? And everything you can do to try to put it back together and keep it as long as possible. But eventually that bond will separate, and it has to. Because, when she's 45, you don't really want her sitting in your lap. That way, it doesn't seem to translate as well when she's at that age. But that bond is something that I think dads and daughters have that I don't think I truly understood when they told us that congratulations, you have a girl. I don't really think I understood that bond in that moment and what it would mean to me. But this dynamic changes over time. And that can be a real painful journey for a lot of dads, because your closeness and that security and that sense of belonging and having that truly strong bond between dad and daughter, as you see that start to separate as they get older, it's really a sad thing. So be ready, dads, for this, okay? And one other strength from the book, it really talks a lot about empowerment strategies, how to build self-esteem and confidence for your daughter and empower them to pursue their goals. When our daughter was little, we taught her to say, I am a strong, independent woman. And it was really cute when she was really tiny to say the word independent. That was a big word for her. But she's grown into that over the years. And that's a huge success for us. That she can do things on her own without needing anyone else in her life. That's a sign of a good kid. Yeah. So the book does give a balanced perspective on the valuable insights into raising your daughter. It also acknowledges that many parenting principles apply regardless of gender, especially in early childhood. It does highlight the unique considerations that come into play during puberty and adolescence for you as a dad with a daughter. And the book is a really helpful resource section at the end, providing fathers with additional resources for additional learning to keep learning. So Girl Dad is a book that does offer a great mix of insights, advice, and all the things we need as dads to be a better dad. Some of the advice is a little basic. It's, that's what you're going to get in the book, but I think it's a worthwhile read overall. So, Girl Dad, Navigating Fatherhood with Daughters by David Hall. Check it out. And I hope this maybe helps you as a girl dad. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on the book and your thoughts on growing up with your daughter as a dad. Thanks for listening. This is Dad Space. I'm glad you're here. Happy November to you. Happy Movember. And I would love for you to share this with another dad. This podcast, this Movember, this month where we focus on dads, this is the focus on you. And we are in your corner. If you've ever felt like you're alone, if you've ever felt like you're doing this on your own and there's no one there to help you and support you, then let Dad Space be that for you this Movember. We need to stick together. We need to be there to support each other and build each other up as men. And this was an entire month focused on us being Movember. So happy Movember, everyone. Understand that you're loved, cared for, and needed in this world. And there's no one else that can be the father that you can be. There's no one else who can be the man that you can be. And we need you. Happy Movember. Thanks for listening to Dad Space. And look forward to having you back for the next daily episode here in the month of November as we celebrate Movember and National Podcast Post Month. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a great dad. And thanks for sharing the show. Happy Movember, everybody.
It's time to rethink men's health. Because it doesn't just affect men, it affects us all. When men are well, the benefits ripple through families and communities. But when men are unwell and unsupported, we all feel it. We're all the real face of men's health. Be part of the solution with Movember.